Yo, what is going on, growmies? Hope y'all are doing well, growing well. Now, growmies, welcome back to the most frosty plants ever, episode 4. If you guys have not seen the previous episodes, be sure to check those out, so that way you can be up to date on what's happening. Also, Homegrown Zone TV is joining us in growing the same plants, except he's in hydroponics, DWC. So be sure to stick around to the end of the video to see the DWC portion. Anyways, to recap, in our last episode, we decided to defoliate hard, take clones, and observe each phenotypic expression in veg. But what exactly am I looking at, Grower's Mindset? This tent looks crazy. I know it looks crazy. But before we get too deep into the tent and the video, just in case you guys don't know, we are growing icy cherry and frozen truffle from reverse genetics. Now for this story, there's actually some in-depth reason on why I chose reverse genetics. To be honest, I've tried all the most popular breeding companies, and in reality, yes, you can find some good plants and some great plants, but most of them are mid, and I want better than great. Now, after spending hundreds to thousands of dollars on the most popular photo period companies, I realized that yes, some of these plants were worth growing, but at this point, none of them were worth keeping. After not finding any keeper plants day in and day out, I would see others online every time going absolutely insane. Beautiful plants that look like they're just in another realm. It's a whole other competition. And that's what I see from reverse genetics. Every single time I saw the plants posted, I would just think it's the most insane, unique, just crazy cut ever. But these are all seeds. After seeing all these posts with reverse genetics, I had to get in contact with him. And after that, he very kindly sent over some unreleased tester plants, which is what we're growing right now. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys the backstory is so that you can understand that the bar for this grow has been increased to a whole nother level. We aren't just looking for plants worth growing anymore. We are looking for plants worth keeping. And after a lot of decision, I believe that reverse genetics is the right choice for this grow. But we'll only know when we flip to flower, which happens at the end of the video. But first, let's see how icy cherry and frozen truffle are doing in veg. Since about a month now, these plants have been in these little 1-gallon organic soil pots. As we can see, the plants are starting to get quite big and hungry. Plus, we've also cut them back already 2 whole times. So these roots are definitely established by now. In order to remedy the slight hunger and pH issue, it's time to feed the plants and reestablish equilibrium. Now, I know I'm the biggest broken record of saying this, but do not let your organic soil dry out ever. Every single time I let my soil dry out, I just get problems and problems and problems, and it takes weeks to get it back to where I was before. At the root zone, it is absolutely vital for those roots to be in a consistent environment with proper pH, moisture, nutrients, and more. At this point, some people might think I'm being a bit dramatic about the dry soil. But I know, going into flower, these little problems of dry soil will become big problems if they're not remedied now. Now, what we're feeding this time is what's been working pretty damn well in my past couple grows. So I'm gonna go with a tried and true method, especially since we're doing 1 gallons. The first ingredient is an absolutely essential if you want to grow extremely potent smelling flowers: gypsum. Now, gypsum is actually mainly a calcium source, but it also has a very high concentration of sulfur, which unlocks thiols. And trust me, you want that for the most aromatic flowers. The next ingredient is what I keep saying is the Gaia Green killer. Like, guys, come on, let's move on from Gaia Green. Let's try other things. This bag is the Burpees All Organic, All Purpose with microbes. Now, if you guys have been watching some of the other episodes, you guys know how much I love this $10 burpee bag. For the results, man, just look how much microbes it creates. If you want ultimate healthy soil, just like a forest in nature, this little bag can create that, showing a very healthy, active soil from top to bottom. If you don't know, you might look at all these microbes and be like, oh my god, mold, holy shit, that's bad. But no, in organics, this is exactly what you want. and having microbes growing on the topsoil indicates a healthy medium. Now the next ingredient that we're using is basically what the GROWMIEGANG considers gold: worm castings. Now in the Discord, we have some amazing members like Angry Dog, who makes his own legit worm castings with live worms. And then we also have some widely available companies that are probably not as near as good as what Angry Dog has, but there's actually some good brands out there. Now before, you guys know, I was kind of iffy on the worm castings, but that's when I was using the worm wigglers. And to be honest, I didn't really like the worm wigglers. After expressing that, I saw a lot of growmies, they just kept raving about worm castings, so I decided to give worm castings another chance. And this time, I decided to try out this other yellow bag of earthworm castings. And I gotta say, I do like this one so far. It seems like it doesn't burn the plants like the worm wiggler one. So anyways, for my last feed, this one's arguably the most important, because it's the biggest deficiency that I'm seeing. Whenever you're looking at your plants, it's extremely important to feed based on what you see. Right now, most of the plants are starting to develop or have a magnesium deficiency. To remedy this, it's actually quite simple. All you need is Epsom salt, food grade, which is magnesium sulfate. And there we go, there's the feed. All the plants at this point have been taken care of, which was pretty damn fun and relaxing, especially since we were just hanging out in the Discord the whole time and everyone was showing their plants and just having a good time. I will say this tent's getting pretty damn overrun, so I decided to do one last final defoliation before flipping the flower, which I'm doing tonight. So yeah, growmies, icy cherry, frozen truffle, and I didn't mention too much about it this episode, but we also have purest indica, and they're all going into flower now.
Hey growmies, HGZ here. Quick update on the Growers Mindset Grow Along here, the Frostiest strain Grow Along, and they're doing absolutely beautiful. Quick root shot, they're all over the place, looking great. These are my other roots, they're starting to get tangled, but everything is going swell, growmies. Everything will be growing in DWC. I'm HGZ, and I'm out of here. Stay frosted. Hey growmies, just a quick little update on the Frostiest strain Grow Along with our buddy MJ at Growers Mindset, and we just put them in the bucket. We got them out of their nursery bin. Roots are popping through. That's 48 hours. Here's the other one. Here's the frozen truffle. And everything's growing along swell. I'm HGZ, and I'm out of here. Stay frosty.
But anyways, growmies, this was episode 4 of the most frosty plants ever, where hopefully we find a plant worth keeping. As always, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment. If you haven't seen my other grow/smoke reports, check them out. Keep it up out there, growmies, and stay motivated in this beautiful medicinal hobby. #GROWMIEGANG.